Am I the asshole for telling my brother that I want an apology from his wife and not him?
Probably not.
My 11-year-old son goes to a skate park after school with his friends, who include his cousin / my nephew, Jack, who is also 11. I went to pick up both boys when I saw a crowd of kids by the fence. I went over and asked what was so interesting, and they pointed to a snake. Not just a snake, but a rattlesnake. They had never seen one before, maybe outside a zoo, and I assumed they were trying to get it to strike because they didn't think they'd get bit. I told them all to get away from it, and they did, except Jack, who actually got closer with his phone. I think he wanted to get a close-up video of the snake striking. I yelled at him to get away, and he told me to hold on. I took him by the arm and pulled him away. He gave me this angry stare. I told him, "What the fuck? That snake could kill you." He gave me the silent treatment until his mum picked him up. Then 20 minutes later, she called me up in a rage about how I grabbed him and did this and did that and hurt him, etc., and I'm not his dad. I asked her if her sweet angel told her about the rattlesnake that he was provoking. She said, "What snake?" I hung up. She called up again and said that I still owed her and Jack an apology for handling him. I told her to shut the fuck up and check his phone and see if I did any of that stuff, as his camera was recording everything. An hour later, my brother called me up and said what Jack did was stupid and he was happy I was there, but I still owed his wife an apology for telling her to shut the fuck up. I said I'm not apologizing for nothing, at least until she apologizes to me for coming at me sideways twice. To be honest, I don't even care because I don't like her anyways. He apologized and I said not acceptable. She needs to apologize.
It's not often that one of the Reddit stories ends up with the saying such as coming at me sideways, and it's not a sexual thing.
Well, to be fair, that idiom was not sexual.
I know, but usually I've seen it put into different things here and there about that.
Tell your brother shut the fuck up too.
Well, no, his brother was trying to mediate, which, fair enough. If you've got a sister-in-law that's a cunt, you need somebody that's going to be level-headed in the situation. And this person wasn't going to be that person either, because they're like, hey, I believe, completely correctly, your son fucked up, and if I hadn't have grabbed him, then he would have been severely injured, if not dead. Valid. And the mum did what a lot of mums do, and hey, don't manhandle my son, because that's not your job. But also, hey lady, fuck off, son could have died. Brother just wants to make sure that everyone's gotten their shit across, and he's just trying to be the middleman and try and put out the fires. He doesn't need to fuck off, especially after he understood what was actually happening in the situation. And when he did, he came back and apologized. From the sounds of things, both for what he did and for what his wife did. Don't apologize for what your wife did. Your wife can fucking do it. She's a grown-ass adult.
He's expecting his brother to apologize for what he said to his wife. Personally, I don't think there should be any sort of mediation when there is a clear someone in the wrong type situation here. Like, yes, there is nuance to most situations, but I'm sorry, if I find out my son was fucking with a rattlesnake and you didn't manhandle him, I'm going to fucking manhandle you. It is a safety situation. And if I find out that someone was manhandling my child and I didn't, like he did keep major context for me around safety like that, and then someone came to me and was like, this shit was going down, my immediate response would be, I'm so fucking sorry, hang up, and then go and start berating my fucking kid for their idiocy. I am not going to be demanding an apology because someone told me to shut the fuck up when objectively I needed to shut the fuck up and listen. And I'm certainly not going to have other people trying to get people to apologize to me because I went and ran my mouth without the full context and then I got upset with their response. Tough shit. That's the consequence. Like, the brother should absolutely not be advocating for his wife to get an apology. He didn't do shit. If you tried to get someone to apologize to me, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? It's your job to help check my shit as my husband. That is one of your jobs.
And I can do both. I feel like I have done both in the past. Pretty sure there have been times where I've done it.
Yeah, I'm sure. But in those cases, it wouldn't be both at the same time.
Oh, it's 100% both at the same time.
What, you were trying to get people to apologize to me for something I fucking caused myself?
Well, to be fair, there is a level of wrong in both parties here. More on one side than the other. Because they could have just hung up on her. There are other ways that this could have been handled.
I don't think you should have kids if you can't cope with being told to shut the fuck up without expecting an apology.
Okay.
If I did something that caused someone to respond in a way that I had a problem with, then their response was a direct consequence of whatever the fuck I did. I shouldn't get an apology for that.
You're going to have that guy coming back and be like, hey, she said another group of people shouldn't have kids.
Well, again, where do you have the time? If you are actively parenting, you don't have the brain space to even track that kind of shit. There are so many things that go down. It's like, oh my God, how are you feeling about X, Y, Z? I'm like, I'm trying to keep 2 humans alive. I'm not fucking paying attention. I forgot that happened. None of that shit lands, man. Like, it's a blip on my radar.
Okay.
So my notes for this, including in the key comments, is full of Aussies discussing snakes, spiders, anti-venom, etc. turned into a deadly animals fandom fight.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, rattlesnakes are a very defensive snake. They do not tend to lash out unless you're actively trying to touch them, which is what the rattle is all for. It is meant to scare you away.
Yeah, it's a deterrent.
Rattlesnake venom, while it can be dangerous, it's not even top 10.
It's not. It'll still kill you if you don't get it treated.
Yes, but also, like, if you're in an area where there's rattlesnakes, you're in an area where they're going to have anti-venom at a hospital.
Yeah, unless you're some fuckwit kid that thinks, oh shit, I'm going to get in trouble. Let's not tell my parents.
It was happening right in front of an adult anyway.
Yeah.
If he hadn't have been manhandled, then he would have been manhandled into the car and straight to the hospital.
In the comments here, they're talking about it's cottonmouths that'll run you down.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, now I just imagine a cottonmouth that's anaconda size, and that's a movie. And, they're just going to call it cottonmouth. My immediate response, which I can't comment on because this feed is shut down, is no, it would obviously be called Cottonmouth Joe.
If anything, Cottonmouth sounds like it'd be a horror movie.
Yeah.
That's not snake related. The descendants of a plantation owner being hunted down by an amalgamation spirit of a bunch of African American slaves that are coming and hunting down his family line.
Either that or just black hunters that were descendants of those very slaves.
Yeah, but the cottonmouth comes into it because he can never speak because his mouth's full of cotton. Also, weird thing to think of. Most snakes, knowing how much of a limit they've got, will only bite when it's an emergency. Once I actually had one when I was trying to go from the pub that I worked at to the accommodation, literally attached on the property. Just a brown snake sitting right underneath the doorstep to our house. That was scary. But brown snakes have one of the lowest venom dispersion for a snake. So they actually inject less venom than most snakes do. And because of it, well, they do that because they don't need to inject much because their venom is so fucking ridiculously potent. If you're ever in Australia, fuck with any kind of snake you want. Don't fuck with the brown snakes.
Easy way to tell the difference is brown snakes, like cottonmouths, will fucking chase you. So if you notice a snake and it fucks off, just don't follow it and you'll be fine. If, however, it stays still or starts moving towards you, just fucking run.
Well, to be fair, red bellies will also do that. Red bellies will chase you, but red bellies also not overly venomous.
I was this far away from a red belly. I was in water though, and I kind of froze in the water and it just fucked off in the opposite direction.
But at the same time, it's all contextual though. Because if a red belly is near its nest, same with a brown snake, they will chase you off. Brown snakes also, if you're nowhere near their place.
Everywhere is my territory.
No. If a brown snake is like out hunting away from its nest, they won't fuck with you. They will do the risk analysis and they're like, I am here to find food. That is not food. Because we are also too big for a brown snake to eat. Most snakes like that will only attack you if they think they need to. Cottonmouths being the exception because fuck those guys.
Do we even have cottonmouths here?
No.
We aren't equipped. We're not qualified to be having this conversation. I feel like we need to. As someone who has worked at the Reptile Park of Australia, I don't know how accurate any of this information is. We should do some fact checking.
Always take everything I say with a grain of salt, because most things I say are just putting 2 and 2 together. It's not things I've researched.
Take what I say with a shirt of ducks.
Wait. No, it's less of a grain of salt, more of a bag of salt. The whole salt shaker, really.
No, if that kid got bit, he'd be rushed to the closest ER, regardless of if it's in network. They'd for sure admit him and administer a whole host of rare drugs and treatments that I'm sure the hospital is going to bill the fuck out of the insurance company for. Assuming brother-in-law and sister-in-law are normal working people and not SAG members, they'd have 100% hit out of their pocket cost for the kid My out of pocket is, I think, $5K per person. So, assuming this was in the US, he'd probably saved his brother at least $5K, to say nothing of the no good, very bad time that kid is going to have for 3+ days at the hospital. My opinion, if you saved me a $5K bill, that would absolutely get you a shut the fuck up. Hell, for saving my kid and saving me a $5K bill, you could say whatever the fuck you wanted to me and I'd respond like a British butler. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, sir. And that's just fucking it, especially when you put in the context of it being in the US. I don't know if rattlesnakes exist outside of the Americas.
I think they might they exist outside of the US, but I don't think you. I think there are some breeds you can find in South America, but they prefer warm, hot climates
And
very dry climate.
drier as well. So it's too cold in Canada, and then the further south you go, the more tropical you get.
It's more like your Mexico, your southern states of America. Because anything more inland is going to be more likely to be rockier or more elevated.